live. Hi everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to another episode of B Conversation.
Yeah.
Okay guys, so today I felt like the topic must be because it's the twins' birthday weekend. So I don't know when we're gonna post it, but currently it's April. It's what, the April 23rd of April today. So because it's their birthday weekend, the twins, they're not really twins, but I'm gonna call them twins for now. I want us to just reflect on our 20s, and what 20s are like, how are you experiencing your 20s, just everything 20s, what it is to be a 20-year-old in this decade or century, whatever they call it.
How old are we now?
Me, I'm old enough. I'm old enough. People, whenever I ask, like, how old do you think I am? There's never a time where a person just
They're exact.
They always say 30, 29.
Oh my word.
Usually, yo, do I look that old?
I don't know, but you sound very mature.
Age, I'm like, I've beneath, like, you are 19, or at you are 22, or at you are 20 something. 28,
Yeah.
29, 32. Yeah, but this weekend is my birthday and Camus. So, starting from today, we are twins. I just realized this now.
Wow, after all of the years, you guys have been friends.
Yes.
Wow. The twins, they're one day after the other, and they're the same age. So, yeah. They are twins.
You're just a few months old, but yeah.
But actually, you guys
No,
can find
few
out
days,
that
days,
what if it's
not
hours?
One day.
What if it's
Maybe
hours?
it's
hours.
Maybe he was
Yeah.
born at 12, you were born at 1.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Wait.
What you have?
Wait, guys. But yeah. The title of this one, I don't know, I'm still gonna play with the title if I don't like it, but at the meantime I like this title. It's if your 20s were a movie, what would the title be?
Okay.
So what do you guys feel like your movie title would be? It can be a movie that's already there, or a movie that was just thing you want to think of just in jail with your own title. Do you guys have one at the moment?
For me, it would be the title of the movie, né? Eish. Thing is, there's a lot of things that happened in my 20s.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I did that I didn't think I would do when I was young. And there's a lot of things I've learned about myself. So,
Give me one title of a movie. Maybe I can try to.
Anaconda.
For
Anaconda, How to Get Away with Murder.
sabotaging us.
Which title would you go with?
Yeah,
Since
because
when
you
we're
said
still,
yes.
yeah.
I also don't know because like Minette said, a lot has happened and you're just going through a lot at the same place when you're also just trying to get through everything. So I also don't know, but I feel like mine would like fall within something with hecticness. I don't know what it would be at the moment. Maybe we can talk about the 20s and then we can dive into actually what do we feel like it would be.
Okay, let me try to come up with a title. Maybe this is how learning and living feels like.
Oh, I like that.
Yes, this is how learning and living feels like. I think, but I might come up with another title as we delve much into the topic. But for now, I can think of this is how learning and living feels like.
I think I just thought of it now. So I think for me, the title for a movie would be 3 steps forward, 2 steps backward.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be the name of
Okay. So I guess you guys are gonna give us reasons why. But I do have questions and stuff just so we can look at what the 20s are like and also just for you to explore in your mind of how you feel about certain things.
Yeah.
So
that's fine.
I wanted to ask like where and what did you think your 20s would be like? So as a child or as a teenager, what did you think you would experience in your 20s?
In my 20s, if you wanna take it, come.
It's all the dreams they were sold to us. You'll be married.
Yeah.
You'll have jobs. You will graduate. But I think one thing that I wanted so badly to have before I actually turned 25, and I'm 25 currently, it was to graduate. I calculated, okay, I'm going to study my degree for 3 years, and then after 3 years, I'm going to study my master's honors, before I actually turned 25. And life is life, and I'm closer to actually obtaining a degree. And also I wanted to have a car, Mercedes-Benz A250. That's my dream car. I thought that by when I reached 25, degree banged, a car, and then a permanent job, right? And I currently don't have, but when I was young in my high school, I was like, before I turn 25, this is all I want to have.
What did I think my changes would be like? Child, I thought I was gonna conquer. I was just ready to like just feast on the world. Like, you know how people always like, you don't want to be an adult yet, continue being a kid and stuff. Like, I was just like, I want to be old, especially when I want to be 20, because I just knew like everything is like you have access to everything, and your dreams are in your hand. But I didn't really understand the realistic part of that. But I just felt like as an adult, I'll just have access to everything that I've always wanted. Kamu said a car, a house. I thought I was gonna have a house, babes. Like, I thought I was gonna like be traveling all over the world. I was gonna be like secure. I didn't think I was gonna work for the man. I thought I was gonna have like my own businesses. Just venturing into everything I've always wanted my life to be, what I've always viewed, and being successful. I thought that was gonna be it, but life lives, and you learn. Yeah.
What do you think stopped that or slowed the process? Or
But you didn't answer what you thought your changes were gonna be.
no, I'm just curious now. I'm gonna
It's
answer
another question that's coming up.
Okay.
But
But-
okay,
Ben,
let's
Yeah,
say
because
let's
it's
Ben.
something I'm thinking of
Let's
now.
burn it.
I'm thinking now, since we all have had these dreams, you said that were sold to us. I wanted to ask you, who sold it to you, but that was gonna be another thing. But again, I'm thinking, what do you think slowed down your progress? What do you think is it? What are the factors that contributed in you slowing down the process of you realizing your goals? Or is it the fact that now you've realized what actually I was over dreaming or I was under dreaming? What do you think happened now that you have noticed this is what I wanted, but now I don't have it now? If you look back, is there any specific things that you might think these are specific things I can point out? This is what hindered my progress.
For me, I think I had to go through seasons of just growth and learning. I had to be like a seed. I had to go underground and actually understand that as much as this is your dream and this is where you're gonna be and you're gonna grow to be that flower and whatnot, you still have to go through making the roots. You have to be in the dark for some time and just understand you as well before you get into other spaces where you're gonna share yourself with the world or share your gifts that God has blessed you with and everything, and just be out there. You have to know your roots, and just be deep within and understand that you are the only one capable of making your roots. No one else is gonna give you roots. You can't go to another plant and be like, can I please have some roots so I can, like, that's not gonna happen. And
Oh, that is so deep.
yeah, that's the truth. And I don't know how to
That is so
deep.
deep.
But that's the thing. So
Yeah.
I think God was like, girl, you need to be rooted. I think I also, once I turned 19, that's when it sunk in a lot more, because that's when I left high school. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna leave this house. My whole plan was like, I'm leaving this house. I'm tired of these roots. I'm leaving. I want my own place. And then every time I was like, but why can't you guys just get me like an apartment or something? That's when it actually started to think that, dude, your dreams are in your hand. Your parents have got you thus far. At this point in time, they not wash their hands off with you, but what you want to accomplish, it's all up to you. After that, they can't do anything more than they've done. And if they can, it's not going to be to the extent that you can accomplish your dreams.
So are you saying it's you who stopped your progress? Is that what you're saying?
No, I think it's what life does. I believe everything happens for a reason. So I don't think it's me. I think it's God. It's God.
The system is rigged.
It depends. If you're gonna look at my dreams, they are very society based. So you could say the system is rigged
Because they give you these dreams that you never reach and you kill yourself to reach them. But that's the thing.
Yeah,
To
and
show
also
them.
it's a realization after Uti. In as much as we can all dream, not all of us are actually going to get to our dreams at the same time or the same timeline that I've pulled with you. Okay, by 25 I'm gonna reach this. Sometimes it will take time for you, and then for you it doesn't take time. You're just like click, you get
And
your
it clicks,
dreams.
yeah.
And you might find out with you dreaming of doing A will actually lead you to your actual tricks. When I'm doing there, I learn some things and actually realize when I get to A, actually,
that actually wasn't
this
your
is what I
dream.
want,
This is
not
what
this one,
actually
and then you get it there
True.
at that point.
Because you know what happened with me, ne? I wanted to study film and television so bad. From a young age, I
Film and
wanted
television.
production.
You are doing it now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You understand? I wanted to study it so bad. I was like, and I wanted to study Go UJ, right? So what actually happened was I applied Go UJ, but I didn't complete my application. And then January came, the results are out, and then UJ sends me an email, Wuti, you are not accepted. And then I went to study finance. And I was like, when I was supposed to write that was one of the boldest, bravest move I ever made. When I was supposed to write my finals in December, I was like, you know what, actually, this is not for me. And then I left, I didn't write my finals and all of that. Then that's what
That is brave.
No, that was actually
sucked it up.
brave. And then I came to
There's and craziness. You have
Gauteng, and it then opened up doors up until I got myself studying something that I just went there because of I just wanted to be in school. When I go through the modules year by year, I realize that actually this is related to film and television production. So that's how I got to partly pursue what I've always wanted to pursue.
But I think yes, now that you are saying that you were there, and then you realize while you are doing those courses, actually this relates to feeling. Like everything relates to another. It's how you look at it. If you don't like something, change how you look at it and see it. If you change, you are doing finance, but in your mind you are saying you are doing finance in a context of film and television. Whoever me, I'm doing finance in a context of agriculture, in a context of technology, in a context of social science. But I think it always leads to another. That's what I've learned M7, because there were a lot of departments and you could see the relationship between all the things, from the nurses, from the data collectors, from the data managers, from the clinical mentors. You see the district managers very yeah. So what's the question I didn't answer?
You need to answer what did you think your 20s would look like?
Oh,
You
yes.
also need to answer that very question.
Do I have to answer it?
Yes. Can't ban us from you. It needs to ban you too.
So Mina, when I was in my 20s, ngicabanga ukuthi ngizobe nginebhizinisi lama-truck, ibhizinisi lelokuzana, supermarket, big supermarket deliver ngama-drones, something like that. That's what I thought, because that's the only thing I want now that I really think about myself and come to understand myself, is owning a business, employing people, changing people's life, having a positive impact, living a meaningful life. Not that ukusebenza, going a 9 to 5 is not a meaningful life. It's just that sometimes it gets repetitive, and sometimes you find yourself, you wake up and be like, oh, you see. So it gets to you, that thing, but you know you have to continue to do it. You make relationships and service in that. But I think with entrepreneurship, that's what I thought. I was thinking I was gonna be selling helicopters, I would be selling trains, I would be selling big things. Yeah, so that's what I thought. I would be ngizobe ngidayisa izinto ngiyishipha ngamatekisi ziyele eChina in trains, shipping stuff to overseas, selling my products, going overseas, being an entrepreneur. That's what. But then I didn't have like exact pinpoint what is it exactly like, where do I need to start? But I knew because I've seen that through my grandfather. Most of my childhood I spent most of it, 90% of the time. Because every time, so umkhulu wami I can say he was an entrepreneur. He's still an entrepreneur. Just that he go to a business. But he is
Yeah.
by blood, by DNA. So, because umkhulu waqala ngokwenza he had a construction company. That's what you would call it. But he had wheelbarrows. So you take those wheelbarrows and help when they are building bridges and doing all these small developments in the rural areas. Then he ended up buying a lot of wheelbarrows. Then those wheelbarrows ended up him buying a car. That everything was his. So that's how. So when he was doing that, those up and downs, I was with him. Because my meeting and that's why especially about dad. Because I was always with him wherever he goes. So you know when you're an entrepreneur, you always go to places, you are always in the move. So now he was always in the move. I think that's why I drew the inspiration with this guy. He's always up and down helping people with this, helping someone, then all of a sudden that someone is giving him money. I'm like, yeah, you just help
This
people.
is the way,
Okay, look, that's how you actually make money, Gant. You help people and they give you money. That's where that seed started. Yeah, because I was just watching. When Mauyingani, he was just watching and observing what's happening. And then that's where the love of. Then he grew, he became, he bought a car, a van. But in this whole thing, I was there, like watching. At some point, he had a company who, like, you see the workers who are cleaning there. Yeah. This guy, what they do, doing the lawn, taking care of the gardens. But Nyakumbula, high school grade 10, doing those things. So that's where it came from. Then obviously as you grow they tell you need to learn indaba yakho yebhizinisi ayisebenzi kwamele ukuthi ufunde, get the best education, get the best job and be the best worker you can. And then you're gonna earn a living here. So yeah. Then I did that and here I am. So now I'm like, okay, let me try and find I'm feeling cool city, but yeah, this is where I am. And yeah.
So when I was reflecting on the 20s, because like the 20s back then are not the 20s now.
Okay.
So like I would like you guys to give me insight on why they're not like the 20s now. What do you think has changed a lot? Because like I know in terms of like income brackets, like yeah, we might earn more, but things are way more expensive. Cost of service is
Hectic.
yeah. So no, it's cost of what? Cost of living, yes. Cost of living is hectic. Because like back then, maybe like by now, like our ages, our parents would probably either have like a car or a house, or like they're able to like sustain a whole family with the salary that they are earning. And like they are looked at as like, wow, you are doing it, you know. So like with us now, with the how cost of living is going, it's so hard to even just look at getting a car, or maybe also because we're also just looking at the long term for the entire car, or just buying a house or getting your own apartment or something. Like those things are hard. Those things are difficult tangibles to get right now.
I have a question with that. Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. My question is, were they really affording that, right? Knowing what we know today and seeing the cost of living the way we see today, what you're saying, like were they really affording, or they were just taking risk and actually having the things that they had, their families, their support financially in the families? Knowing what you know now with cost of living, do you think ukuthi did they really afford that, or they were just taking a risk?
And for looking at the background they were coming from, because they were coming from apartheid, they were like, I'm doing this or I'm going back there.
Yes.
So they had all the motivation to do it. And you know, we were born in democracy, lazy, shama, places. Okay, we get easily, we are not as motivated as them.
Yes. Yeah, because I'm thinking to answer you, I'm thinking maybe it's because I don't know much of it, but I'm thinking I don't really think, and I think I said it on the other videos, and I don't see the impact the taxes will have on me. And immediately said it's maybe you are not exposed to it, and it's going to be effective after some time. It's not going to be effective immediately, right? Maybe it's because I don't have responsibilities like paying for a car, supporting a family, a car, and stuff like that. But I'm looking at it at a position of I don't really see the difference in how maybe I'm spending my money and my cost into the needs that, and I know that before I was retrenched, I could have bought a car, right? But I didn't have license. I could have gotten a license. I was stupid not to get it, right? So it's not that it was expensive or but looking at where I was before, I could have gotten those things, but I was scared. Yeah, well, and some of the things is because I was stupid.
Okay.
Yes.
No, I
So-
like that mindset because like I've always just thought of it like, yeah, I sure how did they do it back then when they were able to, but I honestly when you say it like this I get it because yeah, like the motivation of doing it maybe it has decreased of like getting this and getting that, or maybe we've just aligned ourselves differently compared to them. So yeah, no.
And also, you know, this phrase, they make joke about it now, Uti. When we were young, our parents, when we asked them money, they used to say we don't have money, and we didn't understand. Now we are adults, we are earning, and we understand what they actually meant.
No, the thing is like because at home it was me and my dad. We were the ones who were working at some stage. Because my dad was working for the longest time by himself. So then it became me and my dad who were working. And like me, I'm not gonna say I was a brat, but I was someone who like my dad would always try his utmost best to make sure that he would give me something, you know. So every time when he would say he doesn't have, I would be here. And then when I started working and whatnot, and like you know, black tax and all of the stuff, you need to help out. If your brothers ask, can you please get this? Or like when you go to the shops and it's time to buy things, you wanna calculate 3 times. No, there is black tax, and black tax
Black tax is, I think, is nonsense.
But it happens.
From which perspective?
From the perspective of Uti, black tax is something that is not nice.
And black tax is not nice.
It's not nice.
But I wasn't done with my points.
Okay.
So,
But you are not being taxed, you are helping your own people. The people who helped you.
No, but some of
When
it's
you were
unnecessary.
It's not tax, something you are supposed to
Okay, I'm
pay.
not gonna say it's unnecessary,
But
but I'm
yeah,
let
I
me
will
finish my
answer you.
point. Can I finish my point? We need to take it real straight. Now say things I don't mean. But wait, I wanna say
No, the thing is, this thing of black tax, it always triggers me when people talk about it, especially black people.
okay, but we'll
It's even
get
an
there.
English word. Black tax. You call it Kamales Zulu, black tax. It does not exist. But
We'll
anyway.
have our own episode for black tax.
Yeah, I think I'm going to talk about black tax.
Wow.
I found myself.
Can I finish? Because now it's like my point doesn't matter anymore.
Okay, yes.
But yes, that's what I'm saying. When you go to like the shop now, when you're actually earning a salary, and let's say there's no more that time of the month, now it's a bit in the middle of the month, and you calculate twice before you buy something, and then like you get like your brothers, maybe if like they need something or they don't really need it, but they're used to getting it. And you're like, but you can't get it, it's expensive. Your mind blows. You're like, but I don't have money. But you're saving up. Like, just like, you don't get it. Why they don't understand that you don't have money. So I'm just like, I get you. My parents, I get you now. That when you say you don't have money, it's not because you don't have money, but you need to save it for other things, that are more important. So
You are living in the future.
yeah.
So, just to answer your question, I think, and I understand your perspective there when it comes to Uti motivation. I think the economy was way better than now. Meaning, when you had 100 rand, you had real money. You could buy a lot of things with 100 rand. Nowadays, 100 rand, you turn a time. Pay. Was 10 rand. So I think that's the difference. The economy, the power of the currency that we are using now is very weak. Compared to $1, rand now is 18 rand something, 19 rand. It's there, 18 rand, 19 rand, it always goes 19 18 rand. Back then, it was about cent. Rand was part to par $1 in terms of strength current. Back then.
That's amazing.
Yes, so that's why America is like America, because of that. Everything it roots from there. How
So
strong
you
is your
think
buying
an
power?
American 20-year-old is more likely to buy a car?
No,
No.
now they are crashing now. They're like us. Everyone is crashing. The whole world is going down.
But the
Especially America. Now, when I'm talking about back in the days, Guti, the buying power back in the days was huge.
But I'm taking what you're saying now with
Yes.
that buying
But
power.
now I buy. There's no
Because-
buying power now.
Why
There's
would
credit.
you say that?
There's no buying
But
power.
there's always been credit.
Not as now. But singaba nalokho mina
Now it's easier to access credits.
then
But
you're gonna kill you're gonna
that's the thing.
once you
It's
get
a
into
system.
credit, ngeke uyiphinde uyokusebenza.
True.
Because many corporates are squared.
But that's the thing.
And
That it keeps you in
let me finish. So I'm sorry. So buying power, I mean I'm just looking at I understand your perspective, Muti. Buying power. It's buying power here in a value. And people were actually working. Yabo. So manje we have a high rate of unemployment. Abantu abasebenzi, they are not receiving income. And on top of that, the buying power is low. And the government is not pushing indaba yama-business ukuthi pushing you to okay, anikho employed, akenzama ama-business. All the money is going to the big businesses. So back in the days, I think mina the only into eyenza ukuthi kube right is buying power, abantu babesebenza and people were being supported. Hayi ngalezi akhazi deep apartheid party nje. Yabona nje in the middle of apartheid.
But now in order to buy like a car and a house, you need like a proper job. You can't just
back then
need, like,
you just needed to be a teacher. Why iphoyisa uqedile? Awungadingi ukuthi ube into enkulu. Why security uqedile? I'm not saying this to degrade about teacher and I'm just making an example. The entry was Lokuzana. So I think now everyone got education, everyone has degrees.
Which is a beautiful thing.
Yes, but then on the other side, there's no jobs. Everyone has degrees, but the companies are not willing to employ. So now everything kuba mixed, but it boils down to the buying power or the state of the economy of where you are. Because mind you, if you are staying in what's the country if you are staying in Japan, it's very different because of what the currency you are under.
Exactly.
So I think that's my take with our buying power is shrinking and things are just messing up. But yeah, it's all up to us at the end of the day.
Yeah.
With the information we have now. Yeah.
Okay. So now I wanted to ask, what didn't you expect to happen in your 20s? Or do you feel like we've already covered it?
Let me think what I didn't expect.
Almost everything. Yeah. Almost I didn't expect Uti they're gonna happen. But I'm glad Uti they happened because I got to learn from whatever happened.
Most of the things that happened to me, I never expected it.
Yeah.
And then
Like
most of now I think about it like as easy ending just but then when you think about it and it's cut time, you realize, oh, actually I see why that happened. Because now I'm
here.
True.
Yeah.
True. But almost everything I didn't expect it's gonna happen.
Father, like meeting someone. You meet someone, you greet them, it's nice, okay, it's fine. So Cape Town. House, but it's something like that.
Yeah. It's life.
Yeah, life is a highway.
How would you compare your 20s to your teens?
My late teens were tragic. Yeah. My late teens are very sad. It's one of the reasons why I think I've said I think I've told you, and I think it's one of the reasons why I don't like speaking about my life, where I come from, and because my late teens were tragic and they were sad and painful, right? But my 20s now, they are cool. So I would say that the difference is I've learned to live with my late 20s and I'm okay now. That's the difference. Yeah. So it's one of, remember Lee, that day I had a big breakdown and I was like, I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, it's the reason why I don't like talking about myself, but I love talking about myself, but just that I will choose which parts I'm allowing you to know, which parts I'm not allowing you to know. Is because of the combination of that. The difference is my late teen were very tragic, painful, and then my 20s, I've learned to live with that. Yeah. Yes.
My teens, I think most of the time I was just working. Go to school, make sure good I try my best to do what my parents are saying or my grandparents. Sometimes in school, but then I'm angazi ngayibeka kanjani ukuthi nje ngilandelela nje umgomo wagogo nomkhulu. But then now sekuwukuthi ke hayi ke sengifuna ukwenza into efuna ngomina enhle ke manje.
I'm hoping you guys niyavela le the way nihleli ngakhona.
Please comment ngiyavela.
Yo, my teens were wild. I feel like I love what the idealistic 20s that you're supposed to live in. Yeah, your idealistic 20s societies. I lived them a lot in my teens. So like I would say like the party and just like being opinionated, free spirited and whatnot. So my 20s I've calmed down. Wow, man, I've calmed down a lot. I've come into self way more than I was in my teens. So I've gotten to learn so many strengths of myself. I've isolated so much that I really enjoyed doing. I've struggled a lot with mental health, but I've also understood like how to like overcome it.
What kind of mental health? Is there any kind or it's just mental health?
There's different, you go through, okay, for me, I've been diagnosed once, but I don't think I'm comfortable sharing it like that. When you do take prescription, if you don't take prescription, if you do go and see a psychiatrist and stuff as well, it does help you to like kind of break out of it, even though if it does come back and whatnot. But yeah, I don't have a lot of knowledge on mental health. I've just seen some.
We must talk about mental health. I just say, okay, I'm stressed. I don't go far and think, okay, this is mental. Mental health, I'm scared of that thing because words, they define. So, I just say I'm stressed.
No, then I knew I was not okay. But I was going through a lot as well. And also when I did speak about it, I was reassured, I guess, that you know what, this is what's happening. It's not like it's just you are being attacked by your own health, by your own head at this point in time. So what's this thingy? And don't quote me on mental health things because I had to go see someone and I don't have all the information. I just know what I went through. Okay, but yes, what's this thingy? In terms of like relationships as well, just like the people I surround myself with. Because when I was in my teens, I wouldn't say I had a lot of friends, but I did like you were able to like go to crowd because you're in high school. It's not like it's close. You're able to go out to crowd, and plus also my friends, because I had friends that I carried out throughout primary school that I also had in high school, but they went to a different school. All of them were in a different school. I made friends through their friends as well. So I had like a lot of people around me. And like in my 20s, it was more because I never thought I'd be a person who's gonna let go. I like things. So I was never gonna let go. But like in my 20s, like I came to self more and I understood that some things are just not for you. And as much as you can have access to everything, not everything is good for you. So I'm also in the process of learning how to shed, learning how to accept my new self. Every time when there's a new self, I mustn't always feel like, oh, but I love that version of the same. Like I must be open to just accepting a new self of myself. Also, like,
you know, every day it's always a new you every day.
Yeah, so I'm learning that in my 20s that
like
I need to
every day
be
is a new
open
you.
to this because I'm someone, I love nostalgia. Love for nostalgia.
What's
So,
nostalgia?
like having good memories. So so I would always look at myself like, yo, but the city, that was the time. And like sometimes you just want to reenact those times, but accepting that new self and accepting that this is just not the phase that you're in anymore. I struggle with that sometimes. So I just, yeah, in my 20s, I'm finding more of a balance of just letting go and shedding off that stuff.
We take a lot of our identity from other people. Have you ever thought of that?
I know they say that every day was this. No, there's a nice quote about every day was this thingy. Everybody gets to look at your face, but you never get to see it. Like,
And then there's this one thing saying, McG said it. He said, it's crazy how you will never experience yourself the way Minette is
experiencing you. Yeah.
Unless you record yourself. But I think with the technology you are getting close because the only thing you had was maybe water to see yourself. So the experience is getting evolved. It's evolving because now we have cameras, you can record yourself and watch yourself and be like, maybe as time goes by we're gonna come to that experience where you experience where you have sex with yourself.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Okay. That's what I thought sometimes with you. I wish I could.
And then experience
Team, do I have it help it?
Okay, no, continue. I'm sorry. I'll cut that out.
Oh Lord. I even forgot what I wanted to say. Damn.
What I want.
Oh, I wanted to say that, but my end plan, like when we go down 6 feet under, I know that I'm gonna see God. So I'm like, God, let's have a discussion about everything that happened. I'm just like, yo, God, we're gonna sit and we're gonna talk. Like, as much as God is here now, the Holy Spirit is with me. I just can't wait until I sit like this face to face, and I'm like, God, and God, what was your plan here? What was going on? Because I can't wait. And just be like, but can you see over here I was growing, nah? Not you like that. I can't wait to have those
From that to
conversations.
that.
And I think when I see God, I'll just ask him, why did you let the evil? Why abantu evil they always prosper, and why abantu who have bad intentions? Why do you allow such things? Maybe I would understand.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I would ask. Why would you allow someone to rape a young girl? Watching with all the power that you have to stop that someone, and you allow it to happen. Why would you do that? Why? What was going on with you that time? Oh, I was having a beer that time.
Oh my goodness. Oh my word. You think
But then I
God
would
is
ask
really-
her, why would you? Because I think God has that power to see you, okay, since he's omniverse, okay, that motherfucker, he wants to rape a child. Let me just kill him off now or chop the dick before he does that. Because that's an innocent child. So I would ask those kind of questions, but yeah, I'm so sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Okay. I feel like we've touched on it, but maybe you can enlighten us more on like how has the 20s evolved from like generation to generation, but we have touched on it. Now you're more able to interact with yourself than compared to normal. What else would you guys say?
I think the world got smaller.
Mm.
Yeah, we became a huge village through social media. I think
That's so true because I can see what another 20-year-old is doing.
we can say I wanna with this what I mean by that is that there's a war happening in Gaza and Palestine. People are killing each other here in South Africa because of something that's happening in Palestine or in Gaza. That means we're a community now. We can fight each other because we are talking about Gaza, who's talking about Palestine, whoever is taking their side, and then you can have a whole argument and kill each other because of something as if it's something that's happening on Makedon. We are arguing about. So that's what I mean when we became this small global community.
I think also mental health. Like now, mental health is a thing, and a lot of people just struggle with mental health. Because back then it wasn't really spoken about. So, huh? Oh, I was saying when it comes to mental health, that's also increased because like back then it wasn't really something that was spoken about. So maybe someone might have been struggling with it, but it was something that I don't know if they overcame it or they just let it be because it was just like a thing, hey, mood swings and whatnot, and you just like it became like a normalization. But because it is more spoken about, people are more aware of what's happening. It's more of our sustaining. The mental health stats have increased. I would say that.
The stats have increased starting from when did they start
Like
collecting
your suicide
data
is
for
high.
mental health?
That you could also argue that.
That's what I'm saying with social media.
Did we on while we're on when did it rise and stuff? Did we have more suicide cases back then? Boma 1994 and then till now.
I don't think so.
Because I'm thinking now we didn't have
I
that
don't
much
think
of
so.
himself or
Because I mean,
herself
I can
and
talk to my parents now and
what?
be like, do you know of anyone of your old friends who killed themselves?
Yeah, they would say no.
But then when I speak to you,
Yeah.
I probably know two. That's already 4 people.
But
And
I think,
now-
as you know, I think there's nothing new under the sun. Everything that's happening, we're experiencing now, it happened before. Just that now we are more exposed to information. Information is faster than ever. It moves
That's
faster.
true.
So that's why we have websites, we have everything. That's why now we know of these things. Yeah. But then I just genuinely think this is a mental healthy GPV, what. It's something that been there. It was just that they were not documented. Please ask that question. Please ask him. You can talk. But let me treat it first and say.
No, you have to greet it.
But what was the question?
Did we have more suicide cases in between 1994 and early 2000s?
But I feel like that's
Okay.
for mental health, guys.
But I wanted to say my point on that, Luti. I feel like now the difference is now we are exposed. to everything.
Mm.
We are exposed to everything, and the way that we are exposed to those things, it even digs up what was not exposed back then.
And the people who are exposing these things, like the people who are in control
Yes.
of media, they are running a business. I have this platform
Mm.
where a lot of people are watching, and it will come where evil person with an evil plan, with a lot of money, come to me. I have this platform, I'm Kokele, and I want you to spread fear. I want you to spread this. Then they will create that content that will spread fear all over the world, and things happen. I think that also factors in, because you might find out everything it was engineered by one guy. That's one guy.
This. In the movies, there's always that one guy who knows that it's gonna go like this,
Yes.
but they still do it.
So it's like we're in a system, we're in a matrix.
We're stuck.
You just have to learn how the matrix works, how to play the game. Be happy as you can imagine.
So I want to close it off since it's the birthday week. And I want to say, what are your current aspirations as a 20-year-old before you turn 30? Like, what are your current aspirations? If you feel free to share, because I know me, when someone asks me for like a 5-year plan, I'm like, oh, bitch, that's personal. Like, yo, child, that's personal. Like, sometimes I don't want to share that kind of stuff because it's within my heart, and I just want to be able to like see for myself before I share it. But if you guys do want to share, please feel free.
I don't want to share because I also feel the same. It's personal. But I think I get a chance and opportunity to actually experience all my heart desires.
Mina ngifuna umfazi, ngifuna ingane, I want land, and I want a sustainable business. But now I want a job. But that's my aspiration.
Yeah.
Wife, kids, sustainable job, or
Before 30.
before 30.
Mm.
Oh, did you say
That
before
was-
30?
yes.
30 is also too. Oh, before 30. Before 30. What you want? I think it's a sustainable business. That's what I can say. But I'm not saying that I don't want a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I do, because it helps. Yeah, because you learn a lot of things there. It helps with people. You get free resources to use. So you get exposed to resources. Because I was thinking about Microsoft. They pay for your Microsoft. They pay for all the tools that they want you to use. In the process, you are learning how to use those tools. So it's a give and take.
Right.
Is that it? Says Vanille.
Yeah. I
Okay,
think
let's
it's
talk
very
about.
good. No, say goodbye.
Bye, guys. See you on the next episode.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about the black text.
She's.
I'm so hungry.